check, check. Come on in, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a few more minutes to get in here. I probably should have prepared a thumbnail for this live, but I didn't because I thought the title alone would suffice. It's Sunday. Nobody was live. I haven't been live in a minute. Hey, Ines, thanks for being here, girl. I haven't been live in a minute, and there's some things I want to talk about when it comes to married to medicine, especially because I don't know. I feel like Twitter, Twitter is the place that will make you mad. Like for real. Because last week and this whole week, everybody is going up for all the shade. I mean, the nasty shade that was being thrown at Sweet Tea, right? So Sweet Tea drops a trailer for her YouTube tonight featuring Dr. Simone, and they throw a little shade out there. And now everybody over on Twitter are up in arms. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? Why are y'all mad? That little fun shade really got y'all this upset? And y'all sitting up there talking about, oh, I can't wait for Heavenly to roast them and all of that. I mean, y'all were just saying that the people were eating Sweet Tea up on 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 the reunion stage. So if she got her little 1-2 in, and it was so light, the shade was so light. She was like, "Yeah, I'm over here paying off Quad's house." And Simone gonna say, but who gonna help Quad pay off the house that she actually lives in now? And I'm like, compared to the nasty stuff that Quad said on that reunion stage, that was some light work. Like if this the type of shade that Married to Medicine was about, like I could get behind, liking well, not liking all the ladies, but not feeling like the show needs um a new cast, because these reality TV shows should be about fun shit. It should not go so dark where you're like, ooh, that's a nasty read. There is there is fun shade and there is low down dirty nasty shade. And that is what some of these women on the show, that is what they do. They go for the low down nasty shade. And I keep saying, Sweet Tea is a nice person. And I think it's because she's a nice person why she hasn't gone as low as some of those, as a Quad, why she hasn't gone low as Heavenly, because the Lord sees and knows, child. If it was Miss Y on that reunion stage, the Jamaican in me, the high school debater in me, the petty in me, could see when you go low, I'ma go lower. When you go to hell, I'm gonna make sure that we bring it to the devil's throne. That's how low I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take it yonder. Okay? But before we get into it, please remember to like this video or this live stream. But if you're a part of the replay gang, like the video. Share the link to my channel if you feel like my content needs some more crowd. Your girl is out of the algorithm. My videos are, the viewership is so low, but that's my fault. That's not y'all's fault. It's my fault. I have not been consistent. And one thing with YouTube is if you're gonna do this, you have to be consistent. And ever since, Mel left that show, I've been like trying to figure out, what my content is going to be, but I haven't been consistent in the changes that I've made. So that's on me. That's not on y'all. Okay. So share the link to the channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you're here and you haven't done so yet. Follow me on Instagram because I'll be posting some cute little reels. Follow me on Twitter at How I See It and on TikTok at How I See It TV. All right, so what was my title? My title was Shade, Scammers, and Liars. Okay, so let's start with the shade. Let's start with the shade. Let's start here at Toya. First of all, last week, going hard at Sweetie. Honestly, Toya, you should have been so happy that Sweetie had gone live on her YouTube and mentioned your name and mentioned how you wanted her to go to war with Quad. Because the truth is, that was very clear to even the blind that you wanted her to go to war with Quad because you and Quad weren't seeing eye to eye last season. We have not forgotten, Toya. We haven't forgotten how at the bachelorette party, when Sweet Tea told Quad, hey, come sit by me because I see that all these 304s in the room wanted to be some beef. But let me make it clear to you that I don't know you, girl, so I don't really need to be having beef with you. I don't know why you're here. Because that's what I was thinking, like, Quad, why are you here? You don't know this woman. You claim that Dr. G was the worst person in the whole world. Why you want to be in at this bachelorette party celebrating his wife to be? I get Phaedra invited you, they put you on the call sheet. But one thing I know about reality TV is that you don't have to go to everything that you're invited to unless you need the money that badly and you need to be in a scene to make money. This is how they get paid. You get paid based on all the episodes that you are in. And the truth is, for that episode, I think one of the only scenes that Quad was in was her showing up to Sweetie's bachelorette party. So guess what? She got paid for the scene, right? So it's like, girl, why are you there? But anyways, Sweetie was nice about it. She's like, Quad, come sit by me. And everybody thought, oh, she's a fan of Quad. Look at her telling Quad to come sit by her. Not actually listening to what the girl said to Quad. And what she said to Quad was, I don't know what everybody else is telling you, because there are behind the scenes things that are playing out too when it comes to these shows, y'all. And Sweet Tea hasn't been playing that game since last season, in my opinion. So when she told Quad to come sit by her, that was because of whatever behind the scenes nonsense was going on. And in the scene, she told Quad, I don't know what these heifers are telling you, but I want you to hear from me. Is no beef. Like, we're not gonna be friends, obviously, because if my man don't F with you, girl, I'm not effing with you either. Period. Period. And then here comes Toya talking about, oh, it's weird. That's what Toya said in the scene. She said it's weird. Letitia, tell her to leave. And now you want to convince us, the viewers, Toya, that you didn't want this girl to go to war with Quad because you felt some type of way about your beef with Quad. It was evident. It was evident in how you all treated Quad that entire season. Sweet Tea had no dog in the fight. She was there as a new cast member, getting married, trying to navigate the space, trying to navigate a group that her husband has known for longer. And that was that. And I've heard Sweetie say on her YouTube channel before that the first week of filming, she told him she didn't want to do the show anymore. So for all the people who are like, oh, she wanted to be on TV, blah, 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 Heavenly keeps telling y'all the truth about how this mess went down. Quad was about to lose her job. The producers were trying to get Quad out of there. They wanted Quad off the show. Jackie wasn't feeling Quad. Simone wasn't feeling Quad. Toya wasn't feeling Quad. The only person that Quad had in her in her corner was Heavenly, because Heavenly felt like she needed Quad for the show to be a success. Heavenly feels like her and Quad are the stars of the show. And without either of them, the show is going to be a failure. So when Heavenly realized that they were trying to get Quad out of there, Heavenly felt like, well, we've been asking this young lady, Letitia, G's girlfriend at the time, because the first time they met her, she was just Greg's girlfriend. They were in a long distance relationship. And Letitia has told the story so many times, but haters won't listen to the girl. Y'all need to listen for the truth sometimes, even when y'all don't like somebody. She said she met Jackie and Heavenly at Jackie's 50 Shades event. And the first time they met her, they were telling her to come on the show. And they turned it down. They invited her again and they turned it down. Now, when they got engaged, Heavenly was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing for Letitia to come on because she wanted a way to save Quad's job. And what Heavenly felt, and Heavenly said this out of her own mouth, she said, I felt like if we got Sweet Tea and Dr. G on the show, then they would have no other option but to keep Quad because that's the only way that the storyline would make sense. And to Heavenly's point, I like giving this lady nothing, but from a production standpoint, it did make sense. It did. Let's see how Quad's gonna navigate her ex-husband coming back to the show. And let's see how she's gonna navigate being in a friend group with her ex-husband's new wife. From a production standpoint, that did make sense, which is probably why they gave Quad 8 more episodes last season, even though they were trying to kick her off the show. These are the facts. These are the facts. So, Toya, let's not sit on a reunion stage and pretend that you didn't hit Quad to the point of you feeling like you could get this newbie who really don't understand a lot about reality TV yet to do your dirty work. But the thing is, Letitia didn't fall for it last season. And then because of how y'all treated Quad on the Napa trip, y'all had to come back this season playing nice. Which is why y'all sat on the reunion stage. Jackie's saying that her apology to Quad wasn't sincere. Everybody's saying or their apology to Quad wasn't sincere. Quad, are you listening? I'm wondering, Quad, are you listening? Are you listening to these women tell you exactly how they feel about you? They don't respect you enough. They don't like you enough to give you a sincere apology. They don't even feel like they owe you an apology. And honestly, I don't feel like they owe you an apology either. I really don't. Because if you're sitting around on an ensemble cast feeling like you're Queen Bee and that you're the star and that you can show up to scenes late and these doctors have to sit around and wait for you when they got ish to do and you ain't got nothing to do but get dressed and show up and you're being disrespectful to the producers. Okay. And you're being disrespectful to producers and all of that. All of this is what Heavenly said last season to Carlos King. That Quad went into negotiations feeling like she's the star of the show and she should get paid more than Dr. Jackie. Jackie doesn't bring as much to the show as her and all of that. And then the people went back and told Jackie that. So Jackie been in her feelings. And Jackie has never liked you, Quad. So let's go back to the shade of it all. So Toya, you're sitting down there talking about when Sweet Tea tells you you didn't bring anything to the season, you're gonna say, "Oh, y'all are sitting on a set inspired by your Bridgerton themed wedding anniversary party." Girl, girl, that's case in point. All you brought to the season happened way down at the last episode. An anniversary party to celebrate 16 years of marriage. That's what you brought to the season? When the season was literally on Sweet Tea's and Dr. G's and Quad's back? I don't even see it for Quad. But the thing about me is, I don't dislike people to the point where I can't call it like I see it. And the truth is, this entire season 11 of Married to Medicine was brought to us by the Dr. G, Sweet Tea, and Quad drama. That's what the show this season was anchored on. Without these three people, what would we have been talking about? What would we have been talking about all season long? The dentist and her son getting his white coat? Okay. That was 2 seconds and it was done. Ain't nobody talking about that now. Simone going to clean her son's nasty house? We don't want to see that. Heavenly and Contessa and their little almost fight and Jackie pretending to shed a tear. That was also 2 seconds. That was also 2 seconds long. Everything else was on the strength of what was happening with Sweet Tea, Quad, and Dr. G. And King was just there for the ride. He was just there for the ride. Even this entire reunion is the Sweet Tea versus Quad show. That's what the reunion is, in my opinion. Last week's episode was Sweetie versus Quad with a little bit of Toya sprinkled in there because Sweetie gave Toya a moment on YouTube. And I wish Sweetie didn't do that, because if Sweetie hadn't sat on her YouTube and said, "Oh, Toya wanted me to go to war with Quad," then Toya, you wouldn't have had anything to sit on that reunion stage to say to that girl. So you were so happy to have had that moment. Because the truth is, if your friendship with her was that sincere, then you would have treated her better this entire season. You weren't in her corner. You were Team Quad down to the last episode when finally y'all realized that, wait, we don't really see it for Quad like that. So we don't want it to even seem like we're taking Quad's side. But that wasn't about Quad or Sweet Tea. It was about y'all remembering that y'all don't like Quad. That's really what that was about. And then the thing is, Sweet Tea was going toe to toe with both Quad and Toya. But because people don't like her, well, because the majority don't like Sweet Tea, y'all, they're not going to give her props. Because the truth is, Toya didn't bring nothing to the season. The truth is, Quad, you can't be calling anybody country, girl. You are from the back bushes of Tennessee. You sit around trying to change up your accent, trying to use all these big words because you wanted to conform to what Jackie, you wanted to conform because you wanted Jackie's respect. That's what that's all about. Jackie called you country and ghetto Quad season one. She talks about how you spoke, how you rolled your neck, and all of that. And what did you do? You came back season two saying, "I don't want Jackie to ever say that about me." You want Jackie's respect so badly that Jackie could sit on that reunion stage on Sunday. And when you asked Jackie if her apology wasn't sincere, Jackie told you to your face, "No, it wasn't." And then when Jackie said, "I just apologized because I didn't want it to be any argument," and you turned to Jackie Quan and you said, "It didn't have to be an argument, Jackie." And Jackie looked at you so condescendingly and said to you, "That's all good, sweetie. That lady don't like you." But you're still groveling, just like you groveled Quad last season at the reunion. "Jackie, I can't believe you thought I would do that to you, Jackie." Girl, what? Jackie did it to herself. Why you bawling? Jackie said what she said out of her own mouth, and it was up and stuck on Heavenly's YouTube channel. Why are you trying to beg Jackie to understand that you weren't the one who released the video? F Jackie. That's what you should have been saying. You should have walked off that reunion stage like, I'm not trying to be friends with none of these women. I'm that girl. I know that I carried this show, but the truth is, Quad, you know that if you don't have the majority of the cast on your side to film, then your butt's gonna be off the show. So it doesn't matter how much Jackie disrespects you. It doesn't matter how much Simone disrespects you. It doesn't matter how much Ish Toya throws at you behind the scenes. Now you're going to make your problem sweet tea. When she's literally the least of your problem. Because you see, this is why I say sweet tea is a nice woman. Because I'm looking at the clips for this Sunday's reunion and you trying to shade her for not having a baby yet. Talking about, oh, and you haven't even delivered on that yet. How, Quad, you yourself are having reproductive health issues. So how dare you? I get it. The sport of the reunion is to throw shade, but at least have some level of decency and acknowledge that there are just some lines you're not going to cross. Because let me tell y'all this. If I was Sweet Tea, I would have said, while you're worrying about me not being a mother yet, while you're worried about me not being a mother yet, you should probably rethink trying to be somebody's mother when you can't supervise a toddler in your care properly. But see, Sweet Tea had gone that route, y'all would have said, oh my God, that's low. Well, Quad went low, so Sweet Tea should have gone lower with the facts. Because, girl, you ain't know nothing about this young lady's fertility issues or her reproductive issues to know what her and her husband were talking about in the DMs when they initially met. The fact that so many of y'all feel like the only reason Dr. G married this woman is because of a baby shows me that as women, we are still living in the ages mentally. You don't think they've had all these conversations? When she slid in his DMs and responded to something he posted and said, I could give you what you want or whatever. So what? Why are you so hell bent on remembering that to throw that in her face? When she told him that she didn't know that it was going to take her this long to have a baby, no woman, and I don't think there's any woman on this earth, unless something tragic has happened to you where a doctor tells you you cannot have children, I don't think there's any woman on this earth that gets up and thinks, I can't have a baby. I had struggles getting pregnant. It took me and my husband 7 years. I met my husband when I was 20, going on 21. And I had no idea that it was going to take us 7 years. 7 years to have our first child. Because as I said, no woman wakes up in the morning thinking, oh, I might not be able to have a baby. No woman thinks that. But then at age 23, after I got married, knowing fully well that my husband wanted a baby, all of that, we still got married. As I said, I met him when I was 20. And it wasn't like we weren't trying, but we still got married. Because at the end of the day, he didn't marry me because his sole mission was to have a wife with children. And then at 23, I found out after something else happened, and this is my story is similar to Sweet Tea's. where she had a health scare, and that health scare brought her to the emergency room. And it's when she went to the emergency room that they found out that perhaps you might have a certain condition. And the only way that you can find out if you have this certain condition is if we go and do a surgery. And to do that surgery, you have to go to a specialist. And this is when we see her go to the specialist on on the show. And she had a great premiere video last week Sunday with her doctors where they talked about all of this. Some things are reality TV, yeah, but other things are people's real lives. Sweetie's story is a whole lot of other women's story. Taylor Page. Taylor Page was just diagnosed last year with endometriosis. After years and years and years of struggling with painful periods and bloating and endo belly and doctors telling her that it's normal. She was finally diagnosed. She got her endometriosis surgery. She got her endometriosis removed. And now, 2025, last week, her and her husband just announced that they are pregnant. Thank God. But that's Sweet T's story as well. But the hate that some people who watch reality TV give, the hate that some of them give, they cannot even compartmentalize real women's health issues and reality TV. Because to invalidate Sweet Tea's experience and to invalidate her story is to invalidate several other women who are not on reality TV who met their husbands thinking that they could have a baby, only to find out after years and years of trying that the reason it's taken them so long is because of the fibroids or because of the PCOS or because of the endometriosis or because of the adenomyosis. These are the facts. And so, as I was saying, at 23, after my wedding was in 2014. And in February of 2015, after just certain things were happening with my body that I couldn't explain, I finally decided, okay, I need to go to somebody who can tell me what's going on. And that's when I was diagnosed with PCOS. And the doctor told me it's not impossible to have children, it's just going to take you some time. It's just going to take you some time. And finally, I got pregnant at 27. Mm. So, by some of these people on social media, by y'all standards, did I give my husband false hope? Because I didn't know that there was something happening in my body that was going to prevent me from having a baby as quickly as I thought that I could have? Because that's the standard. That's the standard that y'all are putting out there. That's the narrative that a lot of people are putting out there on social media because of Sweet Tea's story. And that is what disgusts me about it. But let's continue. As I said, Quad, you took it low. But you shouldn't be talking about anybody's motherhood journey when you sat on the show and said you're going to and what's funny is the same doctor that you're going to is the same is Sweet Tea's doctor. We met Sweet Tea's doctor last season, Dr. Davis. And you said in the episode with King that, oh, you're going to Dr. Davis because of your fibroids. So here you both are sharing the same doctor, going through similar journeys, and you want to throw that in a woman's face. Quad, now you want to be a mother, not because you feel like you can be a great mother because your motherly instincts have finally kicked in. You want to be a mother now because of a man. You want to be a mother now. You're saying you want to be a mother because you want to throw something else in your ex-husband's face, and then you want to sit around and say that you're not jealous. Somebody make that make sense. King is out here being accused in civil court of stealing somebody's Rolls Royce. And this is not allegedly, this is court documents. Because I know people like to sit up on YouTube talking about allegedly, allegedly. I'm not saying allegedly for ish. When I have seen the court documents with my own eyes, sue me for reading from the court documents. You and some dude named Curry King are out here being accused of stealing somebody's Rolls Royce. And they have sued you. And the courts in Atlanta said you are guilty and you need to pay them people for their Rolls Royce. And now, King, your lawyer that represented you in that case is now suing you because you can't pay her money after she represented you. I mean, you lost the case, but still pay that lady. Quad says you're rich. Why are you out here not being able to pay people? The people whose Rolls Royce was stolen, they tried to settle out of court. But because y'all don't really have the money like that, they had to take it to court. And y'all still might not be able to pay them people their money. See, Quad made it seem like you own all these cars, King. You can't be coming on reality TV trying to present like you're something that you're not. Because one thing people are going to do is dig. One thing people are going to do is dig. And this court case has been in the court since 2023. And this is why Funky Dineva over there going off on people on behalf of Quad, because Quad rolled out her new man in 2024 at the Met Gala because she needed a reason to come back to the show this season and give people something to talk about. Allegedly, and I'll say allegedly for this because I don't know for sure, allegedly, King was just some dude that used to drive her around. And I just feel like she thought, okay, he's cute. They say he has money. All right, we're gonna date and see if we vibe. And if we vibe, I'm gonna bring him on the show because I can't have my ex-husband on the show with his new woman. I gotta show the world that he's not the only one that can move on. Quad, you might not be jealous of Sweet Tea, but you are definitely resentful of the fact that Dr. G moved on before you. You are in my mind, Quad, you are guilty of this. You are one of those people who you don't like to see people who you feel are beneath you do better than you, whether it's emotionally, whether it's financially. You don't. And so you try to act like you have butterflies because Dr. G found love. But then as soon as he was back on the show, all of a sudden those butterflies disappeared, girl. You were trying to hug his neck last season, and now this season it's off with his head, off with Sweetie's head, and really she hasn't done nothing to you. Last season, Quad, you were on Instagram. You were talking about that girl's ring. You were talking about her wedding dress. You were talking about her cake. You were talking about her wedding decor. You were talking about her wedding venue. You were talking about how she talks, how she walks. The fact that she's in your whole old house. You were asking on an Instagram live about her fibroids. You went to watch What Happens Live and you said that girl is naive. She doesn't fit in the group because she's not smart. She's not educated. And then all of a sudden this season, you're mad that she's on YouTube recapping the show. And when she's asked about you, she answers the questions. Girl, you weren't even doing interviews last season when you were sitting up on Instagram talking about this girl. But people have short term memory. So they don't remember how hard you were going at this young lady on Instagram last season. But all they know this season is, oh, Sweetie's on YouTube and she did 2 episodes where she talked about you. And all of a sudden, she's talking about you in every episode. But I do wish that Sweetie would stop talking about you. Stop giving you shine on her YouTube. Because it doesn't no matter what she says about you, good, bad, indifferent, people are gonna run with it and make it a thing. So I really wish that she would stop talking about you. Don't mention you at all. Don't mention Toya. Don't mention Heavenly. Let y'all go earn y'all's checks another way. So you brought a whole scammer onto a show that's supposed to be about Black medical excellence squad. A whole scammer you brought on the show because you wanted to one up your ex-husband with a man who's taller and more handsome, and he's rich because he owns luxury cars when the whole time he don't own not one of them cars. He's leasing majority of them, and the ones that he's not leasing, he's basically just holding on to them for people who are willing to rent their luxury cars. So basically, if I have a nice, sexy Lamborghini that I'm not driving and I got to pay for this car and money isn't coming in like that and I don't want to sell my car, I find somebody like a king who rents luxury cars. I add my car to his fleet of cars, and then he rents it out on my behalf. And I'm just here hopeful that the people he rents it to don't crash my sexy Lamborghini. That's basically what King does for a living. But they have it like this man owns a fleet of luxury cars. He's basically a driver. He's basically a driver. Which is why when Quad did an interview some time ago and they asked her if she owns the Rolls Royce, she couldn't give them a straight answer. It was never yes, I own it, it's mine. It was some going around the bush to answer the question, beating around the bush to answer the question. So now we know why she had to beat around the bush to answer that question. Because clearly that car is probably leased, gifted it to her on the show for a storyline to say, oh my God, my man is so rich that he can afford a $500,000 Rolls Royce. He can afford to gift me that after less than a year of dating. That was the wild part for me. Y'all haven't even been dating for a whole year. You conveniently found this man to date. Conveniently found him to date around the same time Dr. G got married. And when they were playing that game by the pool, they couldn't come up with they couldn't come up with the correct answers. They had to be over there cheating because they don't really know each other. But people didn't pick up on all of that because everybody was too focused on the mess Quad was saying to get under Dr. G's skin. So it wasn't like, damn, they don't really know each other. I don't think they've been dating for as long as they claim. But I picked up on all of that. And then Quad, you're in the sneak peek, check, 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 saying that you ain't got a DUI. When I am looking at the documents. that said you completed probation on September 19th, 2023 for a DUI arrest. Girl, you got issues. You got issues. Just like Karen Huger had issues, and season after season, she acts as if people were lying on her until it became four DUIs too many, a car accident that could have taken her life or the life of somebody else. And now Karen is sitting in jail for a year. And quite by the looks of how you acted on the cast trip at the pool, you probably do have a problem. But I don't understand why everybody on that stage was like, oh, it's dangerous to say she has a DUI. When Quad sat on a reunion stage some seasons ago and accused Mariah of being on cocaine. So that wasn't dangerous. Mariah had more to lose than Quad. And we haven't seen not a DUI arrest or anything to substantiate the claims that Mariah does any kind of drug. Mariah was so shocked. She's like, cocaine? Girl, I don't even do hookah. But when Quad told that lie, that blatant lie, that was okay. To the point where Dr. Jackie and her nasty behavior didn't even want to look at the results when Mariah brought it to the show. Dr. Eugene was the only one who looked at those results and said, yes, I saw the results with my eyes. I know the procedure that they use to do that testing, and it's clear she's never done any kind of drugs. Dr. Eugene was the only one. And to this day, Quad hasn't apologized for that. But let Sweet Tea say you got a DUI and you're probably a drunk, that becomes dangerous. When we got the proof of it, and then you got these dummies that are responding to some of my comments talking about, oh, that's old. The point is, whether it's old or new, she has DUIs. Y'all are basically validating what Sweet Tea is saying. The issue is not that we don't know that she got DUIs. The issue is she's sitting on the reunion stage lying. So if y'all are fans of Quad and y'all saying, oh, that's old, then tell your fave not to lie about the fact that she got DUIs. But we're going to see how the rest of that conversation plays out on the reunion stage tonight. Because I have the documents and I'm ready to post them. I just want to see how the conversation finishes up before I post what I found. Because as I said in the documents that I found, Quad, you completed a whole probation for your DUI arrest on September 14th, 2023. That's the date that's on the public record that I found. And all the fines that you paid. I'm just saying. So why sit on the reunion stage and act as if it's just, I mean, what I would deduce from somebody having multiple DUI arrests is that they are drunks. I feel like that's a fair assessment to make. Because why are we drinking and driving if we're not drunks? Girl, you rich enough to get you a Uber, a Lyft, to call a friend. Why are you speeding through neighborhoods? That's one of the things that was on the document that I found. Why are you under the influence speeding through neighborhoods? Why? if you're not a drunk. Somebody with a clear mind would know better. I know better. If I'm going out to party with friends, my husband is my driver. He's going to drop me off, and then when I'm ready, he's going to come pick me up. Nobody is trying to get behind the wheels, not even after 2 cups, not even after one. That's how people lose their lives. I'm just saying. Now, let me talk about Sweetie's video for tonight. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see what it's all about. I saw the clip. I wish that she didn't throw that shade out there towards Quad. I'm a firm believer in Sweetie should not talk about Quad. And this is why. This is why. Because every time she mentions Quad, it could be the truth, it could be her opinion. People take that and they spin it and they turn it into a whole thing, and it gives Quad a moment for a few days. What people should be talking about right now is King being found guilty in the courts of not Alabama, in the courts of Atlanta for that stolen Rolls Royce. That's what people should be talking about now. But guess what? They're not going to be talking about it because they have a video clip of Sweetie throwing shade at Quad. And that's why I wish Sweetie wouldn't have thrown that shade in her video with Simone. Like, I wish that her video with Simone was kind of like, or I'm hoping maybe that was just one. All right, fine. Let me put it this way. That could be a 45-minute video, a 45-minute video, and they spent 1 second saying that. But the rest of the video just be could just be fun and us getting to know more about Simone, because really we don't know a lot about Simone. We really don't. I love that video with Contessa because I got to learn so much more about Contessa as a doctor, as a Navy woman, as a mom, as a wife, not this reality TV foolishness. And so when Sweetie had announced that she was doing a video with Simone, I was kind of excited because I felt like it was going to be kind of like what she did with her video with Contessa. But let's see. One, a clip doesn't tell the whole story. And we say that all the time with reality TV as well, that they will show us something, but that one piece that they show us, it doesn't tell us the whole story of what actually happened in the scene. So let's see. But I would say this, Sweetie, I don't feel like Simone is genuinely your friend. So watch her. I am quite okay with you starting to play the reality TV game. The reality TV game of understanding that these people are never going to be as authentic as you. So sometimes you have to fake nice, especially if you want to be on the show for another season. I feel like Sweetie should be on the show next season. Use that one extra season to get your businesses off the ground. Girl, we want those teas. Give us that tea line. Make it a lucrative business so that when you walk away from Married to Medicine, you have something tangible that you can show. Damn, after 3 years of being on this reality TV show, this is what I walked away with. Look at Lisa Vanderpump. Look at Bethany Frankel. Those women, they did. Look at Candy Burris. Those women, they've done reality TV the right way. It makes no sense you're on reality TV for years and years and years and years and years, and when you leave, you don't have anything to fall back on. Sweetie, you work a 9 to 5. I say use your medicine checks. Use your medicine checks to fund your business endeavors. You have talked about your T line since we've met you last season. we need to see a tea drop. I mean, even a green tea, even some ginger tea. I mean, something. It doesn't have to be like some fancy blend. Just put some green tea leaves in a sachet, put it in a cute box, call it Sweet Tea and Co Present or a green tea blend or something. And start off that way. Melody is a perfect example of how you can start off with five products. And now Melody has what, 80 something products in her line? Start off slow and steady and then continue to build. Start off with three teas, simple teas, your green tea, your ginger tea, and your chamomile or chamomile, whatever y'all call it. Three simple teas. The green tea is perfect for, people with inflammatory conditions like even the PCOS and the endometriosis. Even the doctor said that last week on the show. Same for ginger. Ginger is great for digestion and all of that. And then of course your chamomile that's good for relaxation. Girl, you just need those three. Okay, Miss Q27, you said we don't know what for real happened in the situation with King. Just because there are documents out there, it doesn't mean it's all true. Listen, I'm going off of what the judge ruled, and the judge ruled he is guilty. He said in his statement to the court that he's guilty. This is what I'm telling y'all. Everything is public record. What these people went to court to say out of their own mouth is public record. Nobody forced him to go to court and say what he said. Okay? So don't take it from me. Go read the court documentations, not just what the judge said or what the accusers have said, but what he said in the court out of his own mouth. And the courts have found him guilty, and now they have to pay the man. This was not a criminal case, so he's not going to go to jail. It's a civil suit, which means that the people who sued them, because it's not just him, the people who sued them, they were seeking damages in a certain amount. The court found him guilty, and now he has to pay the man. And not only does he have to pay the man, now King's lawyer from that case has entered court documents saying that King hasn't paid her. So I don't know what else y'all want us to say as YouTubers. Y'all want us to say he wasn't found guilty? Y'all want us to say that the court documents doesn't show him saying that yes, he was involved in some crazy mess? He knew that the Rolls Royce was in the hands of Mr. Curry under some strange circumstances, but he still rolled with it. And this is the only thing I'm gonna say allegedly about, because I haven't found those documentations yet, but I will. This is the third time Mr. Kirk King has been accused of this kind of fraudulent activity, allegedly. Well, if Mr. Curry and Mr. King been accused of this three times, then it's clear that King is quite fine with being in the company of Mr. Curry. If you're saying that people can be in situations because of other people, well, if he's in the situation because of the Curry dude, then guess what? He should find himself away from the Curry dude. But clearly, he's not because they're in cahoots, in my opinion, allegedly. This is some scammer behavior. Ain't nobody falling asleep and leaving a whole Rolls Royce key in the car unless you're part of some fraudulent activity. And then you don't report the car stolen until 10 days later. Come on. Come on. If that doesn't sound scammerly to you, then I don't know what will. That girl said she woke up, the key was gone, the car was gone, and she didn't report it until 10 days later. That's what the people said in the court, in the case. And that's what it says in the police report, too. The girl did not report the car missing until 10 days later. That don't sound scammy to you, Miss Q27? And, well, that sounds scammy to me. Sounds like a plot. Sounds like a roost. Sounds like something that they be doing over and over and over. And finally, somebody says, somebody said, not my Rolls Royce. I need y'all to remember that this was one of the things that Apollo went to jail for, was convicted of criminally in the federal court. Taking people's cars, changing the VIN numbers, getting the titles and putting it in their name. A whole scam. And once you have messed with the VIN number, now they can't track who the actual owner of the car is. And it took the police some time, but finally they caught on to Apollo and his co-accused. Finally they caught on to him and his co-accused, and he went to jail. He went to federal prison for committing fraud. And all of this concerning Mr. Kirk King, it sounds familiar to the mess Apollo was in. Allegedly. Quad, you need to get away from that man. Because when people start running with this story more than they're running with it now, I heard Sherelle's World talking about it. I heard Michelle Atialian, Lakeisha Keisha, several other bloggers are talking about it. I'm a small blogger, a smaller blogger. But sooner or later, the bigger names are going to start running with the story. And when they run with the story, they're going to say, Quad's boyfriend, King, involved in a stolen Rolls Royce scandal. And they're going to plop your picture up there with him, Quad. So I know you wanted the world to feel like you found this handsome, rich, buff dude who's so much better than Dr. G. But girl, you can do better than somebody who's out here allegedly scamming. Mariah told you to go find you a chiropractor. You probably should take Mariah's advice. If you are just so beautiful and just so intelligent and just so wealthy, then it should not be that hard to find you a good man whose money isn't funny. Quad, again, Sweet Tea is not your enemy. Sweet Tea, Quad is not your enemy. The enemies that both of y'all have on the show is those other women, the Simones, the Dr. Heavenly, the Dr. Jackie, the Toyas. Those are y'all's ops. Quad and Sweet Tea, y'all can be cordial. Y'all have to talk to each other in scenes. Y'all can be like, hi, bye, and that's it. But put the energy where it needs to go. Y'all have allowed the rest of the cast to skate by while using y'all's little beef as their storyline. That's what everybody has been talking about this whole season is the Quad and Sweet Tea verse and Dr. G and King. That's what everybody's been talking about this whole season. And because y'all showed out, everybody else got to relax this season. If both of y'all come back for season 12, it should be there's no beef. There's no beef. We're not gonna come at each other. There's nothing that we need to be arguing about. Dr. G has moved on, Quad has moved on. They're both happy. Put the energy where it needs to go. Give Jackie some business. Give Dr. Heavenly some business. Give Toya something to talk about that doesn't include a bag or planning a party. Let Jackie work for her check. Jackie hasn't talked about her life since we found out that Curtis was out there cheating on her. Heavenly don't be talking about ish that has to do with her life. It is clear Damon is out here doing some shisty mess. Because every single time somebody brings up how Damon is a cheater, Heavenly gets so quiet. She gets demure. Every other time she's loud. Every other time she's a virago. But bring up the possibility of Damon cheating, she gets into a shell because she doesn't know for sure how much information the person who is bringing up the fact has. When Mariah said, "Do you want me to bring the receipts?" Heavenly got so quiet. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? When Sweet Tea says, I'm led to believe that Damon did cheat on her because she told me that she had to slap Damon upside his head with a frying pan one morning when he came in late. And Heavenly went and she confirmed this. But y'all love to call Sweet Tea a liar. Y'all just not listening to the people y'all need to be listening to. Listen to Sweet Tea's version of the story and then go and listen to Heavenly's version of the story. Heavenly said Damon went out with some of his frat brothers and came in at 4 a.m. in the morning, and she was mad about that. So she wanted him to know that she's crazy, so she slapped him over the head with a frying pan. That don't make no sense. That's clearly a lie. Because if my man is a DJ, and I know that if he's gonna go out to play, he's not gonna come in until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. What do I need to be mad about? To want to show him that I'm just so crazy that I'm gonna slap him over the head with a frying pan. That makes no sense, Heavenly. What that tells me is he was out doing some dirt. You found out about it, or you were suspicious about it, and when he came in, you wanted a fight and you gave him one. But you're not honest enough, Heavenly, to really talk about the ups and downs in your marriage. That would make you more real to me, Heavenly. If you were willing to say, yeah, me and Damon, we've been married for 20 something years. We've been through some shit. And this is the shit that we went through. And so this is how I can be a resource to young women who are married and tell them that you can go through in your marriage and come out on the other side. Because look at me and daddy. But you can't do that. So instead, you hyper focus on everybody else's marriage and the flaws in everybody else's marriage while you present yours as being just so perfect. And it's not, it's clearly not. Your marriage can't be so perfect that you are in your closet every single day talking to strangers on YouTube. And some chick on Twitter is gonna say, well, Sweet Tea is kikiing with Simone about Heavenly being on YouTube when Sweet Tea's doing the same thing. But no, 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 no. Let me put my anonymous T voice on. No, 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 no. Sweet Tea isn't doing the same thing as Heavenly. Sweet Tea does some pre-recorded videos. She posted on a Sunday night and she goes about her business. And she doesn't spend every single video just bashing and bashing and bashing and bashing and bashing her castmates. That's where the difference lies. Heavenly is on Patreon every single night talking about her castmates. It's like, golly, where is Damon? Hi, One Way. Where is Damon? Q27, you don't understand what is the purpose to go find documents of situations if you are not in the situation. We're content creators. That's reason enough for us. We feel like somebody lying, like Quad is lying that she don't got DUIs. Public record. Let me go find out for myself. And I found out for myself. She does. That's really what it is. I'm not a journalist, but let me put my journalist hat on. If a journalist feels like there is a story somewhere, what are they going to do? They are going to have to go out there and confirm that what they think is going on is the truth. They have to go dig, they have to go into public records, they have to interview people. All this is content creation. Quad brought a man onto the show and said, "This is my king, and he is wealthy, and he is this, and he is that, and he is everything under the sun." And then the streets of Atlanta start to talk and say, "Yeah, that dude is in some scamming ish." And then people can't confirm it. You can't just come on your YouTube and say, "Well, I heard on the streets of Atlanta that this dude is a part of some scamming ish." You got to go and figure out why people are saying that. And then when you go and you enter his name, you find out that he's a part of some scamming ish. And then you read the court documents so that people don't think that you're just on your YouTube just lying on people. What is he going to sue me for? You can see let me explain this to you, my dear. You cannot sue somebody for repeating what is public knowledge. And all I've done is repeat what is public knowledge. And what is public knowledge is he was in a civil lawsuit over a stolen Rolls Royce. And the courts of Atlanta last week found him guilty in the stolen Rolls Royce case. And the judgment has been passed down that they got to pay the people for the stolen Rolls Royce. So I don't see how he's going to sue me for repeating what is facts. He's going to have to go and prove to some judge that the information that I just presented on my YouTube is a lie. And I don't know how he's going to do that when the court documents are clear as day. There's nothing that he can sue any YouTuber who is reporting on his court case. There is nothing that he can sue them for. You can't even sue me for speculating because I've clearly said in the things that I have said allegedly for, I've made it clear it's my opinion. And before he can sue me, he has to first ask me to clear up the information by presenting to me what is true from his perspective. And then I will come and I will say, "Well, according to Kurt King, this is what is happening." And then I will still repeat what I said based on the court case. Yeah, that's exactly how she presented him. She presented him as just this wealthy, successful, handsome guy who is everything under sun. That's exactly how she presented him to us on a platter. Exactly how. But anyways, y'all, I'ma sign off. 'Cause my battery about to die, and I don't want this thing to cut off midway through this live. My battery is like literally dying. So thank you to everybody that tuned in. Please remember to like this video, share the link to my channel if you feel like the content needs some more crowd. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, now called X, at How I See It, and on TikTok at How I See It TV. After tonight's episode of Married to Medicine, depending on how the conversation continues regarding Quad's DUIs, I may or may not post the actual court documents that I've found relating to her DUI arrest and her probation. So look out for that. I might post that to a reel or I might do another live. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Until my next video, walk good. Bye.